What's up, y'all? This is Brave, and I'm back for another review of Love and Hip Hop Miami. This is Season 5, Episode 17, and the episode is titled Get Out. Let's jump right into the episode. So we start this episode off with Flo. She's meeting up with Claudia, and she basically tells this lady that, she only wants to be with her. Yes, Marlon has moved into the house, but there are rules, and she don't want that man. Claudia, she accepts it because at the end of the day, she just wants to be with Flo. All right, that's cute or whatever. But let's get into Flo and these lies. Because Flo went on to tell her about Bobby's party and how she also called out Amara La Negra for going online and talking about how her storyline was fake because it made it seem like everybody on the show's storylines were fake. And Flo was like, no, that's not my situation. Like, my story is real. All right, fine. But here's where things got a little tricky for me. Because Flo went on and told her about what Gael did. Because Gael decided to throw out a bunch of papers and, call out Hot Topic. And she said all of this without including herself. I said, ma'am, the same way Gael walked to the top of the steps, you was not too far behind her, okay? Like, you were a part of the whole situation. You knew what Gael went there to do. Why are you acting as if you were standing in the crowd and then you saw your sister on top of those damn stairs throwing out them papers? Cut it out, Flo. So then she's like, basically they have beef with Trina yet again. And if they want the smoke, they gonna bring the smoke. Okay, fine. Moving on. So, y'all, we actually see Trina. She's doing something that we like for her to do, and that's perform. Yeah, I don't mind seeing Trina on the stage, but baby, when she is on this show arguing with people, I just be like, girl, please stop. Nonetheless, she's performing at, did not catch the college name, but she's performing at a college homecoming or whatever. She's there, Yin Yang Twins, a couple of other people who are, probably performing. One thing that I will say is, baby, whenever that the Yin Yang Twins are around, it's a good time being had, okay? Because I have gone to that Millennium Tour, not once, but twice, and both times, the Yin Yang Twins, they were the best act, okay? Talking about a good time. Nonetheless, back to the story at hand. Trina, she is there with her man. Her man is there to support her. He's standing off to the side of the stage or whatever. According to her, she is so in love with this man. I'm like, all right, girl, are you trying to convince us or yourself? Now, moving on, you guys, we actually see Shay and her mom. They are on their way to the hospital so Shay can have a procedure done. As we already know, unfortunately, her baby did pass away. So they're going to have the procedure so that way they remove the baby from Shay. I feel really bad for her in this moment just because it's very clear and evident that she wanted her baby. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, the baby did not make it. Now, she does update her mom and tell her that, she told Fabo to come to the hospital. He doesn't know what's going on with the baby, but she told him to show up. Now, of course, we already know that her mom, she don't want nothing to do with Fabo. She don't even think that Fabo needs to be there. Me personally, I don't think Fabo needs to be there either. Because, I'm sorry, but you, sir, are the problem. You have caused this woman so much stress over you and your shenanigans that she lost this baby. You can stay wherever you at. And honestly, maybe Shay needed to do this process with her mom so that way they can, have something to really build their relationship on. Because as y'all already know, they have a very rocky relationship. All right, so we do see her mom giving her dad a phone call just to say, what's going on. Letting him know that Shay is really going through it. And she's going to need their support when all this is over. Who comes to tap her from behind? Fabo. So she does unfortunately tell him what's going on because, Shay is actually in the operating room. And of course, we already know that Shay probably wanted to be the person to tell him. However, girl, you was in the middle of the procedure. Your mama felt that's what was best. All right, fine. So she tell him. Did y'all catch the way he said, oh, they doing it right now? And I feel like the way he said that, it was given, oh, did she really lose the baby? Or is she having an abortion? Like, his tone and the way he was saying that, I was like, sir, be so for real right now. I feel like if she was having an abortion, she probably would have told you. So as they continue to talk, the mom was like, oh, I didn't know where you were. And he's like, well, that ain't for you to know. Here's the thing with Fabo. His problem is his tone and the way he talked to people. He talked to people like they are so beneath him. It's ridiculous. So what does that do? That gets these two going back and forth to the point where she's like, you know what? Not today. Not today. I don't need this from you. In her confessional, she's like, I'm not trying to stir up any more drama with Fabo, because at the end of the day, that's just going to be another added layer of things that Shay has to deal with. So moving on, we see Joy and Hot Topic. And honestly, I could do without this scene, but let's just talk about it. So I don't even know where they are, okay? They are somewhere else. I'm going to assume that they are walking around that college campus that Trina was just at, because you already know she don't go nowhere without her minions. Nonetheless, they talk about Flo and Gael. According to Hot Topic, Flo's career ain't going nowhere. They are both sick and tired of people trying to throw Hot Topic's, past in her face, because she's a changed person now. Now, according to Hot Topic, she has tea on Flo, and that tea is that Flo is broke, okay? She's behind on rent for her beauty bar, and she ain't got money like that. So she was originally going to go to the pop-up shop or whatever that Flo was having, but no, Joy was like, no, you should send somebody else to go do it, to go do the dirty work. Now, moving on, we actually see Amara and Bobby Lights. I didn't even realize they were friends. Were they? Or did I kind of forget about that? Nonetheless, they talk about the fact that Bobby, he did some movie with Vivica A. Fox. What was that movie? I have no idea. It may be on Tubi. Who knows? But according to him, he's still trying to, get into that acting bag. And he's unfortunately already been typecast as the messy gay guy. And he wants other types of roles. So I guess him and Amara were going to go over some lines or something. Not really sure. Let me tell you what stood out to me, though. Here comes Miami Tip. Okay? She is, I guess, a waitress at this restaurant they're at. Baby, one thing about Miami Tip, that girl, she work her some jobs, don't she? I feel like she will be the hostess, the bottle girl, the twerker, the movie director, the writer. She's been the stripper. Girl, just all over the place. But nonetheless, Bobby and Amara talk about his party. And honestly, they both are upset with Flo. The reason why Amara is upset because Flo questioned her about Safari. And then Bobby is upset because Gael and Flo stirred up all that mess at his party. So now he got beef with Flo, and he does not like the whole, oh, Flo so innocent thing. He knows now that Flo be in on all the mess that be going on as well with her sisters. Moving on. So we actually see Gael and, what's his name? I'm about to call him Antonio. Anthony? No. What is Flo's husband name? Marcus? Whatever his name is. I don't even know what his name is. I feel like none of those names. Marlon. That's it. Marlon. Alright, so he actually has a conversation with Gael about him getting back with Flo. According to him, since he moved into the place, into their house or whatever, he wants things to go back like it was because he getting real comfortable. He basically wants Gael to help him get Flo back, and that way they can kick Claudia to the curb. And the only thing that Gael told him was, oh, just make sure you have some proof that you still sleeping with Flo. I'm like, you know what? You two, like, honestly, who needs enemies? Flo, you don't need to keep beefing with Trina and Hot Topic and everybody. Your enemies are in your backyard, okay? Your enemies, you are sleeping with the enemy, okay? He right in the room next door. And the other enemy is stirring stuff up at parties and getting you involved in even more mess. So, girl, leave Gael and Marlon alone. Drop both of them. All right, y'all. So now we are after the procedure with Shay. Okay, it's time to take her home. Fabo is still stuck around. I'm surprised. Now, unfortunately, we learned that she had an allergic reaction, I think, to the anesthesia. So she can't even see out of one eye. I'm just like, oh my gosh, Shay is going through it, okay? So I'm assuming that Fabo took Shay home, right? I mean, great. He is going to be there for her. The only thing that I'm giving a side eye to is that she is probably going to push her mother away. Okay? I'm pretty sure. Fabo is going to get her wrapped into his web once again. Because in the next scene, we have Shay's mom going to talk to her. Okay? Because Shay's laid up in the bed. And her mom is just, checking on her, seeing how she's feeling or whatever. And then she goes on to tell her about what happened at the hospital, She's like, I talked to Fabo. I told him what was going on because he came over here to the hospital and he had no clue what was going on. And girl, you was already in surgery. So when was you going to have time to tell him? So again, I understand why the mom told him, because how does he even know how to support you if he don't even know what the hell going on? Okay. So then the mom goes on to tell her, then when I was like, oh, I didn't even know where you were, saying, I tried to keep it down. And she did. She did try to keep it down with Fabo. She's like, he gave a response the way he gave. Oh, here goes Shay, y'all. She gonna take up for Fabo every chance she get and make sure that her mom is known as the problem. Because she goes on about how her mom was dead wrong. Like, it wasn't her place to tell him and blase blah. Girl, I need for you to be so for real right now. You find every reason to be mad at your mama at this point. I get it. You wanted to be the person to tell him. But my good sis, when you had him on the phone, you could have told him. And don't try to pull that whole, oh, this is something that you say in person. Girl, you had him on FaceTime. Cut it out. You could have told him already why he's coming all the way to wherever you are in Miami, so that way he can meet you at the hospital. Girl, be so for real. Like, I just don't even understand how Shay's brain works, to the point where she is going at it with her mama, basically insinuating that her mama needs to apologize to Fabo. For what, girl? For doing a job that you couldn't do? For telling him information that you couldn't tell him for some reason? I don't understand. Then she goes on to tell her mama how she's poking the bear. She's always poking the bear. Your mother is poking the bear? Yeah, Shay, get it together. Again, I understand that her mama have had issues when she was younger, but honestly, I can understand why her mama don't really rock with her like this. I'm sorry. Shay finds every reason to blame her own family for things that are going on in her life. And when it comes to her man, oh, my man, you act like he's the greatest thing since sliced bread and he can't be accountable for anything. Like, I just don't understand how Shay feels the way that she does. It doesn't make sense. We have seen her lash out at her brother. We've seen her lash out at her mother. We constantly see her lash out at the people who try to support her. But then these raggedy men that she lay up with, they're trash. And she goes so hard for them. And then Shay does the thing that I cannot stand, that these reality stars love to do. Y'all have got to stop bringing y'all parents on these shows, and the shit is supposed to be centered around what you got going on. I don't need to hear about what your mama got going on. I really don't, because she's not really a cast member. So the fact that you want to throw it in your mama's face like, oh, well, let's go ahead and talk about how you took your man back, your husband back after he cheated with how many women? Girl. I'm sorry. I think that is so whack when when the children, they grow up or whatever, or even when they teenagers or if they're adults and they decide to throw their mama business back in their face. I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, at the end of the day, I really don't care about who Shay Mama took back. She ain't a cast member. And if anything, girl, it's because your mama wants you to be better than her, okay? She would prefer that you choose a man better than the type of man that she choose, okay? So, nonetheless, her mama ends up leaving, and in walks, oh boy, Fabo. Now, of course, now he wants to be supportive. And she tells him what happened and how she blamed him for, stressing her out. And, this is all she wanted. She just wanted Fabo back around because now she is going to get lost in Fabo yet again. We gonna move on. All right, y'all. So we actually see Trina and her man, and the third wheel Joy. Okay, so Trina is all lovey-dovey, kissing all on this man. And y'all, we finally get a little bit more backstory on him. So I think Trina said something along the lines that this man like flips properties or something like that. But basically, she saw him at a party and she had to know who he was. Now, according to Trina, y'all, she's ready for a marriage. She ready for kids. Baby, she's talking about this is the happiest she'd have ever been in her life, being with this man Swerve. I'm like, yo, life? Wow. Out of the 50 years you've been living, this is the happiest. I'm quite surprised. But okay, girl. All right, y'all. So, moving on, we get to see Flo's launch party for her products. All right, cool. Marlon comes strolling in. I think he gave Flo a kiss on the cheek or whatever, and then said he was going to go get a drink. Baby, he beeline straight to Claudia, talking about how, he done moved back in and how him and the kids, they good and all of this stuff. Then proceeds to show her some photos in his phone. So he ends up showing Claudia this video of him and Flo dancing. Now, y'all, I just want to know, when did the video actually be made? Because he could have very well been showing her something that was made a long time ago before they broke up. I wouldn't trust Marlon. Now, we then see, I want to say it was Gael and what's that girl who messing around with Safari now? Eliza. We've added them to the mix at the party, and they're talking about what happened at Bobby's party. Speaking of Bobby, he comes strolling in with Amara because they want to confront Flo. Now, baby, when Bobby got there, he got it started with Flo, going back and forth on the fact that, you get mess started, you knew that Trina would be there, and blase, blase, blah. I'm just like, it's funny how Trina's name is always mentioned. Like, this ain't even have nothing to do with her. But nonetheless, he basically told Flo in her face, like, girl, I already know you're not that innocent. You be in on a mess. And he right. He absolutely is right. Flo is not innocent at all. However, she tries to play like she is. Then Amara, she's like, tag me in. She wants to go off about whatever she going off about. And honestly, like, when it comes to the whole Amara situation, like, Amara, you brought all of that shit on yourself. So I don't even feel bad if people question you. I really don't. Now, as far as the Bobby stuff, I can understand why he's pissed off because it was his birthday party. You know what I'm saying? You try to celebrate, have a good time. That man was saying a speech. And before he could get started with whatever he was about to do, Flo and Gael took over the party. Now, Bobby, he's like, you should give me an apology, basically. And she's like, no, sorry, not sorry. I don't feel like I owe you an apology. And he's like, okay, that's fine, because that means whenever there's another event, I can't promise what will go down or what won't go down, okay? So she's like, oh, yeah, and about your party, I'll just swipe my American Express because I'm the real rich girl. I was like, now, hold on. How convenient is it that Hot Topic was just talking to Joy about how this girl is broke and now she wants to talk about how much money she got? Flo has never talked about how much money she got and how she's rich. yeah, it's still giving. Was this a storyline? Because it's real funny that now we're all talking about how much money Flo got. Nonetheless, y'all, we jump over to see Bobby talking to I don't even know who. But all I know is that Zoe Brinks was there, and I hated that outfit on her. I really did. We could have found something better to wear. Nonetheless, Flo is on the mic, okay? She trying to say a little speech. Alright, so after this little speech that Flo gives, Marlon gets on the microphone. I'm like, now, who gave him the mic? He basically talks about how, he's there to support Flo, and if you love something, let it go. And if it comes back, then it's how you know. He stopped at the stoplight. Then he made 4 rights. Now he's all back where he started, and he's back in her life. No, I'm just kidding. If y'all know the words that I just said and what song that is, you a real one. But nonetheless, because those was absolutely some song lyrics. He up there talking. And what was so weird to me is that her mama was right up under Marlon. Because you already know that she loved her son Marlon. She wished that she married him, honestly. And Bobby, he come yelling from the back. So what about your girlfriend? So at that point, Flo is like, my girlfriend, she ain't got to compete with nobody or whatever. And then tries to call Claudia up there. Baby girl stayed where she was. And Marlon, he again is on the microphone talking about, oh, this ain't the moment for Claudia to be up here. And then here come Flo mama talking about some kiss Marlon. Yo, again, Flo, you beefing with the wrong people. You don't need to be beefing with Trina and her cousin and her posse. You need to be beefing with your damn family. Baby, it's the fact that the mama is in on the BS with Marlon and Gael to basically say, yeah, my daughter is smashing Marlon again. Excuse me? What? Then we get Marlon back on the microphone. I'm like, Flo, you ain't snatched the microphone out that man's hands yet. And you talking about this ain't a storyline? Girl. So Marlon is like, I don't want to say that we're back in a relationship right now, but I'm back in a room. Then proceeds to turn his phone around. And it's a video, I guess, of him and her laying in the bed. And she has on some little nightie. I'm like, again, you sure this ain't a storyline, Flo? Because you mean to tell me that your family, they align themselves like the damn Avengers just to attack your ass like this? That's wild. And baby, keep in mind, Bobby is in the background. He is eating it up, okay? Just eating it up, okay? Smacking it all. Because he thought he did something arguing with Flo. Baby, that was nothing when it came to this foolishness. Claudia ends up storming out. Flo trying to chase behind her like, I was sleeping. You can analyze the photos. Girl, it is not looking good for you. So Claudia ends up leaving because she don't trust Flo no more. And I'm like, yeah, girl, you shouldn't. And the producers ends up asking Flo, did you sleep with Marlon? And her response was, oh, I messed up. Which means yes. Okay. So then she goes back into the party and she tries to kick this man out. Oh, you already know her mama wasn't going to have none of that because she loved her some Marlon. How is it that Marlon, he goes outside and the mama is right there with him? Then for Flo to be going off about how this ain't right that he did this and how he took photos of her while she was sleeping, and he's gonna say, oh, this sounds like a conversation for another day, and proceeds to walk back into the party. I said, you know what? Again, Flo, you and your storyline is giving ridiculous and fake all at the same time. I can't. Now, y'all, here comes some lady by the name of Bernice, and she's here to put the eviction notice outside of the beauty bar. And then proceeds to tell them that everybody needs to leave the premises, okay? Everybody got to get about this beauty bar because Flo is getting evicted. So they go see what's going on or whatever. And when the lady's like, "Oh, you're 3 months behind on rent or whatever, and you have to pay it right now," blah blah blah. It was like they was like, "Okay, yeah, this has to be a joke," and they just walked right back into the building. As if nothing just happened. And then we can hear Bobby say, "Oh, that's Hot Topic cousin. Goodbye." Like, Hot Topic, let me find out that you sent Bobby there, Amara there, and your cousin, and none of that hit the way Marlon and the Avengers hit, okay, against Flo tonight. So, as the people proceed to leave the building, right? Because at this point, this party's over anyways. Even if they didn't have that little fake eviction scenario happen, this party was over after Marlon blew up the spot. Why did Amara walk up to Flo and was like, if you're having problems with money, I can slide you some? So you already know Flo took offense to that. And I get it. I would take offense to it as well. Especially considering Amara is not your friend, girl. But y'all, that is where the episode ended. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And I will talk to y'all in my next review. Bye, guys.